Yeah, I mean, we did a summer tour. We did Summer Slaughter. We did a European tour with Between the Buried and Me. We did a Indian festival. We did some shows with Killswitch Engage. Then we did Soundwave Festival this year. And then we did Deftones, and now we're here. So we've had, like some cool tours. We've been keeping busy, just promoting. In some ways, it kind of feels like the album's been out for a lot longer than it has because we've been touring so much. But it's been really good. The response has been great, better than we expected. Well, in Europe, normally we do pretty well, like in the UK, and we found out that we did well in like Scandinavia and places like that. And Germany was kind of actually a tougher market for us. But I'd say that on this tour, we're kind of seeing that that's slowly changing. And everyone had always told us that Germany is a very tough market, but that you have to keep at it. We're on Century Media here, which is a German label, and they were like, look, we know it's tough, but like once you get them, you'll have fans for life. Whereas in other countries, you might be like the flavor of the week, but they'll forget you just as fast. So I said it's very important to develop here, and I think we're slowly starting to see that. So that's very exciting. On tour, we might write riffs and record it on our phone, but the writing happens when we're home. And a lot of us have recording rigs, so we just record when we're home, just kind of constantly. There's never a recording mode. It's just whenever the ideas inspire you. That's the beauty of having a recording set up at home. So we are always writing, and not ever really with the intention of anything other than just getting ideas out. And then now we have a ton of ideas, way more than we need to work with, and we're going to continue to write. So that's kind of where we're at, and the way it's always kind of worked with us. We just write, and then we're like, that's cool, that's not so cool, that needs some work, maybe we can make it cool. As much as we might be classified as this or that, we always approach it as progressive because you can do whatever you want, and there's no limitations, and there's no expectations either. So it's just whatever we want it to be at that point in time. I have no idea what the new material will sound like because we have to choose what it's going to be, and maybe most of the songs haven't even been written yet. Who knows? But it's just going to be. It's always about quality. It's about putting stuff that we can be proud of. Because frankly, let's face it, we play progressive metal. It's not a popular style of music, okay? And although we have been fortunate, it's not anything that we can bank on financially. So we might as well just express ourselves, because then if it sucks and no one likes it, at least we'll be proud of it. And what he said too. We play around with our axe effects a lot, and you can get some crazy sounds out of that, and that definitely can inspire. And we are nerds, when it comes to gear. If you look around here, you can see. I don't know if you want to film over there, but you can see all the axe effects and whatnot that are glowing everywhere. That's not our rig. That has some Kempers. We don't want none of that. But the axe effects and all that, so we're basically just using technology to our advantage. I think that with this album, we finally maybe earned our right to kind of take our time and to not have deadlines. I found that deadlines have been very limiting and stressful, and to no real end other than just these are the dates that everyone has planned things somewhat arbitrarily. And the proof is the fact that both of our albums have been delayed several times because at the point of deadline, it was not at the point where we were happy, and we don't want to release something that we're unhappy with. So, doing it like that just created stress to try to meet these deadlines, which we couldn't meet anyways. So now we're just going to do it, and when it's done, it's done. And then we're not going to waste time stressing out if it's taking longer than expected, because obviously it's not career suicide if you have to delay your album a month or two or even a year. At this point, our last album has been out for 10 months, so I think it's important to remember that, let's say hypothetically, and I don't even know if this is the case, but let's say hypothetically our next album didn't come out for another 2 years. We still would be on a pretty normal album cycle for a lot of bands. Just because we put out a release a year doesn't mean that we have to. So we'll focus on making sure that it's good and we're happy. And whenever that happens, that's when you guys will get it. Well, we're doing Summer Slaughter this year again, and I don't think we would have considered it again, except that the lineup was just so awesome. It was like, we're gonna co-headline with Animals as leaders and Dillinger Escape Plan is headlining, so that's awesome. And the Ocean's on there. I think they're from Germany, right? Or are they not? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Well, they're like, I don't know too much about them, but what I heard was awesome. So I'm very excited to see them. And Norma Jean's on there, Revocation's on there. So it's like some really cool bands, some really good friends of ours as well. So that'll be a really fun tour.